Right now, you probably believe you're an individual. You have your own thoughts, your own opinions, your own goals, your own identity. But for almost all of human history, that idea would have sounded completely absurd. Your ancestors didn't survive as individuals. They survived as tribes, and your brain still hasn't caught up. In fact, the pain you feel when you're excluded from a group activates many of the same neural systems involved in physical pain. To your brain, being abandoned by your tribe isn't merely embarrassing, it isn't uncomfortable, it isn't awkward, it's dangerous. Because for hundreds of thousands of years, it was. Every instinct you have about friendship, belonging, acceptance, status, and connection was shaped in a world where being alone often meant death. Your nervous system was built for campfires, not smartphones, for small groups, not massive cities, for tribes, not followers. And even though civilization changed everything around you, your brain never got the memo. When you open your group chat and realize everyone went out without inviting you, or when you see your friends hanging out online while you're sitting home alone, something extraordinary happens inside your skull. UCLA neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger discovered that social exclusion activates the anterior cingulate cortex, one of the same brain regions involved in processing physical pain. Your brain literally reacts to rejection using some of the same neural machinery it uses for injury. Think about the last time someone ignored your message, the last time you felt unwanted, the last time you walked into a room and felt like you didn't belong. That sinking feeling wasn't simply emotional disappointment. Your brain was treating the situation as a potential survival threat. For your ancestors, exclusion from the tribe meant losing protection, food, cooperation, social support. A human alone on the prehistoric landscape was vulnerable to predators, starvation, injury, and rival groups. Natural selection favored people who felt social rejection intensely. The individuals who fought to remain connected were more likely to survive, and those are the brains that eventually became yours. But Eisenberger's research uncovered something even more fascinating. People who are genetically more sensitive to physical pain also tend to be more sensitive to social rejection. The overlap isn't metaphorical, it's biological. Your brain doesn't treat belonging as a luxury. It treats belonging as a necessity. This is why being excluded can ruin your entire day. Why a cold response can linger in your mind for hours. Why loneliness can feel physically exhausting. Why heartbreak can genuinely hurt. The language we use isn't accidental. We talk about hurt feelings, broken hearts, emotional wounds, because your brain evolved to process social pain as something dangerously real. And that pain system is constantly scanning for something your ancestors depended on every day, a tribe. When you feel that sting of being left out, is it emotional disappointment, or does it feel more like actual pain? Let me know in the comments, because the deeper you look into the human brain, the more you realize loneliness isn't the real problem. The real problem is tribal deprivation, and your brain is still desperately searching for something it evolved to need. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar discovered something strange. Your brain can only maintain about 150 stable social relationships, not because society decided that number, because your brain physically evolved around tribes of roughly that size. For nearly 300,000 years, everyone you knew fit inside a single social circle. Everyone, friends, family, rivals, hunters, storytellers, potential mates. Every human who mattered could fit around a few campfires. Your entire world existed inside a tribe. Today, you might encounter thousands of people in a single week. Co-workers, neighbors, followers, online communities, complete strangers scrolling past your face every day. But your brain never evolved for that world. It evolved for a tribe, and it still searches for one. Modern life has created a strange paradox. You are more connected than any generation in human history. And yet, loneliness has become one of the defining experiences of modern existence. Nearly half of adults report feeling lonely, not because they're surrounded by too few people, but because they're surrounded by too many people who don't feel like a tribe. And your brain knows the difference. 3,000 followers are not 3,000 allies. 100 notifications are not 100 meaningful relationships. A viral post is not belonging. Your nervous system wasn't designed to measure connection through metrics. It was designed to measure connection through trust. Shared experiences, mutual dependence, the feeling that someone would notice if you disappeared. And when those tribal bonds are missing, your body responds. Research has linked chronic loneliness to increased risks of heart disease, stroke, inflammation, depression, and premature death. The biological consequences are so severe that some studies compare chronic loneliness to smoking multiple cigarettes every day. Think about how extraordinary that is. Your body reacts to social isolation as though something is physically wrong. Because from an evolutionary perspective, something is. Your biology still assumes that a disconnected human is a vulnerable human. What we're witnessing today may be the largest social experiment in human history. For the first time, millions of people are attempting to live without the kind of tribe that shaped human evolution. And many of us are discovering that our brains don't function as independently as we'd like to believe. The strangest part is that your ancestors spent hundreds of thousands of years trying desperately to stay inside a tribe. Now millions of people spend their lives trying to prove they don't need one. We celebrate independence, self-sufficiency, standing alone, being different, and there's value in all of those things. But your brain never evolved to stand alone. It evolved to belong. Every notification you check, every message you wait for, every moment you wonder whether someone likes you, respects you, remembers you, or cares about you. That's not weakness. That's not insecurity. That's not a character flaw. That's human nature. That's 300,000 years of evolution speaking through your nervous system. The feeling that you're searching for something, the feeling that something is missing, the feeling that you don't quite belong. Your ancestors would have understood it immediately because you aren't really looking for more followers or more likes or more attention. You're looking for a tribe. And the reason that search never completely goes away is because your brain was built inside one. Maybe the greatest illusion of modern life is the belief that humans are meant to thrive alone. We aren't. We never were. The people who survived long enough to become your ancestors weren't the strongest. They weren't the fastest. They weren't the smartest. They were the ones who stayed connected, the ones who belonged, the ones who had people around them when the world became difficult. And somewhere deep inside your brain, that ancient knowledge still remains. A quiet reminder that beneath all our technology, all our achievements, all our independence, we are still tribal creatures, still searching for connection, still searching for belonging, still searching for each other, because the oldest need in the human mind isn't success, it isn't wealth, it isn't status. It's knowing that when the fire burns low, you won't be sitting alone. Subscribe for more hidden truths about human psychology, and watch the next video to discover why humans fear rejection so intensely, and how a single person's opinion can sometimes control your entire emotional world.